Morning, Ashley.
Good morning. I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Okay. It is 9:30, so I'm gonna get us going. Good morning, everybody. I'm gonna call the Public Works Committee to order. As you can see, we continue to meet via Zoom webinar. And if you're joining us today via this Zoom webinar and would like to provide public comment, please use the raise and lower hand feature to raise and lower your hand, and I will call you to provide comment. If you're participating by phone, you can raise and lower your hand by pressing *9 and *6 to mute and unmute yourself. If you want to provide general comments or comment on a specific item agenda, you can call and leave a voice message for the entire City Council. You can call 406-552-6012. And you can always email City Council at council@ci.missoula.mt.us. And with that, if we could do a roll call for attendance, Ashley, that'd be great.
Anderson? Becerra?
Present.
Contos?
Here.
Harp? Hess?
Here.
Jones?
Present.
Merritt?
Present.
Ramos? Cheryl?
Present.
Vasika?
Present.
Von Lossberg? West?
I
Thank
see
you.
Heidi, but
Oh,
I think she's here.
okay.
Okay.
Anderson is here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Next, we have approval of minutes, and we have minutes from February 24th. If you haven't read them and would like to revisit the words spoken by Director Nkashola, I highly recommend you do that. He provided very inspiring and moving words during the Public Works Committee. With that, any changes or amendments to the minutes? Okay, seeing none, those be approved. Is there any public comment on any agenda item or general? I don't see any members of the public. Jerry Ellis is in the attendee. Okay, so no public comment. We will now move to our first item on the agenda, and that is amendment number 2 with FCS Group Incorporated for the utility financial plan and rate study. And Allison is here to present. Go ahead, Allison.
Hi, everyone. I'm Allison. I just want to introduce myself really quickly. I am the Business and Finance Manager at Public Works and Mobility. I started in November, and right now I would just like to present the Professional Services Agreement Amendment number 2 with FCS Group. FCS Group has been currently working on our rate studies and analysis for stormwater, wastewater, and water. And this amendment is to continue some of the work that we have left with the water utility to do a look at the rates that we have currently, and also to continue to wrap up some work with the stormwater utility that they have to do a presentation for us.
Thanks, Allison.
You're welcome.
Questions from council members? No. Anyone wants to make the motion? Amber.
I'd be happy to make the motion.
Great. And Julie? Great. Thanks, Allison. So we have a motion on the floor, and there's no public to provide public comment on this item. So let's go ahead and do a roll call vote, please.
Anderson,
Yes.
Becerra,
Yes.
Contos,
Yes.
Hess,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Merritt,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Fasika,
Yes.
West.
Yes.
And that is 9 yeses.
Great. Thanks, Ashley. So that passes and it will be on our consent agenda. And Allison, thank you so much for the presentation.
You're welcome.
Okay, next we have a professional services agreement with Water and Environmental Technologies for water rights services, and Logan McKinnis is here to present.
Good morning, I'm Logan McInnes. I'm Engineering Manager for Public Works and Mobility. I apologize, looking at the referral, I see we didn't include a map in the referral, so my apologies for that. There is a map in the Exhibit A document that's part of the consultant scope. So if you want to look at that, or if you want me to share it on my screen, I'm happy to do that. So the project is about, there were 2 wells along Patty Creek Drive that used to pump to a tank that was up on Crestline Drive that we eliminated a few years ago. The wells have been removed. That's the property that just got sold. And so our plan has been to transfer those water rights to another location, which is the Stevens well, which is over by Wagner's Home Furnishings. So anyways, the work would be to select or to hire Water and Environmental Technologies to basically process that water rights change application and do pump testing and get DEQ approval of that transfer. Or, I guess the DEQ has to approve sort of the larger pumping rate from the Stevens well. So that's how that ties into the water rights. Anyways, any questions about the work?
Julie.
I just want to clarify that for the record, Logan. So this will be increasing the pumping rate from the existing Stevens well to accommodate the water that we used to pump from the Patty Creek Drive wells. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yep. They're small wells. They were, just a few 100 gallons a minute. It'll be much preferable to have kind of one larger diversion point for those 3 water rights. And we do have to reconfigure the piping so that, because that tank that those 3 wells all used to pump to is no longer there. So we need to make some piping modifications so they can pump to kind of our main south reservoir.
Excellent. I'd be happy to make the recommended motion, and I support the ongoing efforts that the water utility is making to streamline our system and make investments into our future. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Julie. Yes, I concur, and I think this is something we have to do. It's running it through the process to get the DEQ approval. It's something that I think it's worth it for us to do it, and transfer of those rights. It's an important way to keep our system performing the way it should to cover the needs. So thank you, Logan. And we have a motion on the floor and no public comment. I see Jerry Ellis is in attendance. Maybe we need to promote him to be a panelist, please.
Jerry actually just came in my office. For some reason, his computer is not working. So he is here.
Okay, great. So with a motion on the floor and no public to provide comment, let's go ahead and do a roll call vote, please.
Anderson,
Yes.
Becerra,
Yes.
Contos,
Yes.
Hess,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Merritt,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Vasika,
Yes.
West.
Yes.
That is 9 yeses.
Great, thanks, Ashley. So that passes and it will be on our consent agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you, Logan. Next, we have a referral professional services agreement with IMEG for Mount and 14th, and Andrew is here. 2%.
Hi. I'm Andy Schultz, utility engineer with Public Works and Mobility. We're looking to get IMEG, which is the new name of Territorial Landworks, which has done a bunch of water main design for us in the past. We're looking to get them on board to do design and construction administration for 2 short stretches of water main along Mounts. The first is basically Mount across Brook Street, right over there by Pierce Flooring. There are maps in the referral if you guys want to look, or I could share those. But if you've driven that stretch of road, you know that is in badly in need of some new asphalt repair there. So we've got old water main, steel invasion water main that we'd like to replace there. And then rather than just do one project, 1 block long, we're going to tag on another section on 14th Street. So Mount essentially just west of Russell. We've got a water main underneath the railroad tracks that we need to replace. So as part of that same project, we'll do a bore underneath the water main or underneath the railroad tracks to replace that water main. And we'll be paying for this out of the water development fund there. So.
Great, thanks, Andy. Yeah, I think this shows another collaboration between departments. Seeing that this stretch of street needs improvement, we can tag along and get done what needs to get done. Julie?
Andy, so how much of that stretch of street is gonna get fixed? I know we're talking about the water main here, but since they're kind of tied together, because there's a few blocks there that are getting pretty bad.
Yeah, so we're just going to replace, we only have 1 block where the water main's in, where we really need to replace it. But I think that street project will go several blocks along. So as soon as we get our 1 block water main done, then the streets crew will come in and replace several blocks there.
Excellent. I'm happy to make the recommended motion.
Great, thanks, Julie. Any other questions from council? Okay, see none, and we have no public to provide public comment. So let's go ahead and take a roll call vote, please.
Anderson,
Yes.
Becerra,
Yes.
Contos,
Yes.
Hess,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Merritt,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Vasika,
Yes.
West.
Yes.
That is 9 yeses.
Great, so that too will go on our consent agenda. Thanks, Andy.
Yep, thank you.
And last but not least, a service agreement with Simco GC Systems for water system improvements. And Jerry, also known as Logan, is 2%. Go ahead, Jerry.
I don't know that I would agree with the not least part, but so basically what we have is we have a lot of what are called clay valves out in our system. They're pump control valves, booster control valves, and PRVs that we use to actually run our system. We have a 5-year rotation where those valves need to be rebuilt. We can, and we have the skills, the abilities, and the tools to actually build some smaller ones. But when it comes to the bigger ones we have out in our system, the fire flow valves, we actually for the last several years, we have contracted out to somebody to do that. The companies that do this, there's actually 2 of them right now. They will come in and they've got a trailer and they got all the tools and everything available and ready to, and the training and skills to knock these out quickly for us. If we endeavor to do this many valves ourselves, it's probably going to take us months to get them done. And so this actually gets done in about 2 to 3 total weeks. The previous years we've done, I think a couple years ago, we did the wells, and then last year we did the boosters. The numbers on those are very small. We do 10, 12, 14 valves, and the price comes anywhere from 8, 9,000 up to 12 or 13,000. In this case, we have PRVs out in our system. Because of how we're sitting in the valley, we pump water up to the hillsides all the way around the valley. And when we do that, we end up with some fairly significant pressures. And we have to have pressure reducing valves to actually reduce the pressures so people don't bleed when they shower. And along with that, it's fairly expensive. So what I'm trying to do right now is get this set up for the PRVs to get done this fiscal year and next fiscal year. I got $40,000 in the budget this year to do half of these PRVs. The total of this whole rebuild project for the PRVs is $72,447. My plan is to do half this year and then half next year, so it's not such a big hit on the actual budget. Like I said, I have $40,000 in the budget for this, and it is out of the enterprise fund, and it is paid for by the actual customers of water.
Great, thank you.
By the way, my name is Jerry Ellis. I'm operations superintendent with water.
Thanks, Jerry. Okay, thanks for that information. Any questions from council members? Julie? You're muted.
I hit the button, but obviously not close enough to the actual button. Jerry, I'm happy to make the recommended motion. It sounds like something that we need to do. Nobody wants to be bleeding while they're showering. So I'm happy to support this. And Mirta, after we're done with this item, I had another question for Andy on the last item that I forgot to ask.
Sure. John?
Yes, Logan, what was the price of that again? You said you had 40,000 on hand. What was the total?
The total is 72,447.
Great, thanks. Appreciate your work.
Yeah, thank you.
Great. No public. We have a motion on the floor and no public to provide comment. Sandra?
Sorry, I just want some clarification. So you had 40,000 in the budget, and then is all of this coming from the enterprise fund, you said?
It is, yes.
Okay.
And like I said, it'll be half this year, so the 40,000 will easily cover this year.
Oh, duh. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none. Ashley, if we can take a roll call vote, please.
Anderson,
Yes.
Becerra,
Yes.
Contos,
Yes.
Hess,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Merritt,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Vasika,
Yes.
West.
Yes.
9 yeses.
Great. So that too will go on our consent agenda. And thank you, Jerry.
Thank you. And remember, if I said anything offensive or anything, my name is Logan McGinnis. I can be found in the Broadway building. So
Noted. Okay. And Andy, if you're still around, Julie Mary has a question.
Yep, still here.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
I just meant to ask about the timing of when you guys thought that the water main replacement on 14th and Mount was gonna happen. Mostly just so I can avoid driving that way when I drop off my kid at school.
Yeah, I hear it. I think it would be the 14th and Mount. The Mount, we'll try to prioritize that first, so then Brian can get in there with the street crew and do that. So that'll probably be mid-summer timeframe. This design should go pretty quickly, and then we'll get it out to bid and get it constructed, and then we'll leave a little bit of gap in the schedule so they can get a boring contractor in there for the other project. So that'll probably end of summer, fall for that project.
Great. Thank you, Andy. And that is all we have for today. So thanks, everyone. And with that, we would be adjourned.
Thank you.